To answer your question, yes, we are two adult women. And yes, we love Bieber, and that's why we're publicly stalking him.
We're crazy.
Hey! Maybe he's what America needs. One nation under beams. We're gonna be two less lonely girls. We're gonna be two less lonely girls. We love Justin Bieber, and let us be clear, we're not being ironic at all.
Hosted by Corinne Fisher and Rosebud Baker.
Welcome back, everybody.
I just let Rosebud say it as if we haven't been sitting on my couch for 3 hours.
Welcome back to Two Less Lonely Girls. I'm Rosebud Baker.
I'm Corinne Fisher.
And this episode's going to be a little bit different. First of all, we just sat here for like 2 hours talking about breakups, and it was wild. So if the vibe is a little low,
well, I think there was a lot of similarities that we can learn from.
For sure.
Well, it was good. I honestly don't talk to my friends enough outside of business settings, and it makes me sad. So I'm glad that you didn't have to rush out.
It felt really good.
Yes.
I'm so happy that my roommate was able to watch Charlie tonight. She's very sweet. Let's see. So this episode is, I needed to talk about Demi Lovato because I didn't realize,
and I didn't argue with you.
I didn't know how fucking great she is until I was in LA, recovering from a breakup, listening to Confident, listening to Cool for the Summer. I listened to Cool for the Summer probably on average 85% of my trip.
Okay, so you mean Confident as in the single? Because the whole album, including Cool for the Summer, like Cool for the Summer is on the album Confident?
Confident, yeah.
Okay.
So I listened to pretty much all of Confident. I listened to Lionheart a shitload. Lionheart is, what a moving ballad. Yeah,
and like also she comes out swinging, because like for me, I'm looking at the track list right now. The first 5 songs, hit after hit.
If you haven't climbed a mountain while listening to Lionheart thinking about your dead dog,
oh my God,
it is a life-changing experience.
Rosebud.
I just recommend it highly for anyone who has a dead dog and also access to Spotify in a mountain.
That's so bleak and funny.
It was like taking a bath on the inside.
Yeah.
It was beautiful.
So this is great. Your breakup album is Demi Lovato Confident for this breakup, because I think every breakup has a different album.
Yeah.
My last breakup, the album was Taylor Swift 1989.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I mean, this is really getting me through it.
Yeah. You needed to. I mean, I would blast it to the point where people, like new people I was seeing, would come over and go, well, maybe you would get over it faster if you would stop blasting it at. And I go, this is the process.
This is part of it.
If you want to fuck, you can either stay and listen to 1989 or you can leave it. I can masturbate to 1989 because it's happened in one way or another.
I am masturbating to Lionheart while thinking about my dead dog. No, I would never. Jesus Christ. How could I say that?
Oh, man.
I'm wearing a locket with her face in it right now. How could I make that joke? I
know. I can't even masturbate with Alfred in the room. I've tried and I'm like, you got to leave.
Dude, Charlie will bite my nose. He thinks
Your nose?
I'm in trouble.
Oh. He's also a big dog too, to have that. That's almost like having a human.
He just walks over and he just like takes a little nibble off my nose. And I'm like, nope, don't need you.
Yeah.
Please get out.
Yeah.
But yeah, that album is so fucking good. When did it come out?
It is. I think I want to say 2015, but let's look. Maybe.
I've never listened to her.
Yep, 2015.
I've never listened to her other than like when she comes on the radio, obviously. But like, I never sought her out. And everything that she does, oh my God, the song about her forgiving her father. Oh God, dear Lord, get me the tissues.
I like her, and she goes deep. She really does, because I mean,
she does.
Well, because she had a lot. She's gone through a lot for such a young woman.
Yeah.
So she has the emotional intelligence of a much older artist.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's the same situation when you think back to Jagged Little Pill and Alanis Morissette. Alanis Morissette was 19 years old when Jagged Little Pill came out. I'm 33, and I still have to like get a dictionary for a lot of the words in those songs. Like,
holy shit, she was 19.
Yes, they are. The complexity that comes, I mean, and her, I mean, for her, She didn't even come from like a traumatic home like either. She was just someone who was like notoriously fucking like way older dudes, and it was not going well.
Yeah.
And then doing a ton of drugs.
Right.
When she was touring. And then also obviously experiencing this incredible fame because she was a child star in Canada. And then also she was on like, You Can't Say That on Television on Nickelodeon. And she was kind of known in Canada. But then when she broke out in America, Jagged Little Pill, America, 19 years old. Yeah.
Wow.
And just fucked up touring like out of her mind on drugs.
Oh, well, yeah, obviously. I mean, she was getting fucking basically molested.
Yeah.
I mean, those guys were way too fucking old.
There was, because there was a series of people. I mean,
besides, I know 19 is legal, but it's like, is it legal?
Besides Dave Coulier.
Is it?
Yeah, I know.
That is fucking crazy. I can't believe she was 19.
Uh-huh.
And she was never like, nobody ever acted like she was a child. Nobody ever like.
Because it's deceiving and you just forget.
Yeah.
She didn't look particularly young. Like, not that she looked old or bad, but she had a very, I think she's one of those people who, as soon as she got tits, like, was always kind of very womanly. And when you feel comfortable in your own body and have a good relationship, like, kind of in your own skin, which you could argue either way for her, but I think she's kind of like, she's just like beyond us. Like, honestly, she's an
old soul.
Yeah. Anytime I'm, I always think like, oh, everyone reads self-help books and I really never have. And then I go, yeah, bitch, but you were listening to Alanis Morissette the whole time. Like, that's my self-help book.
Yeah.
When you listen to those songs or like anything in my life, relationship wise, I can gain insight on from listening to an Alanis Morissette album. Like, any problem I have, I go, what's the Alanis Morissette album or song I need for this? Truly, like, I was doing it this week. Like, I was like, this week is bent for you. Like, like, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah. And it feels like, it's interesting because most breakup albums that I've listened to are like really sad, like,
sure.
Like, most of the breakup albums that I've gone to are just sad. Like, it's just like me feeling bad and me feeling sorry for myself. But like, breakups in your 30s are different. They are. Because when you leave somebody, not because it's not working, but because you're not happy, it's a new fucking level. Like, you're like, I love you, but it's not working and I'm not happy.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to go. Even though I've put all this time into this, I'm going to just make a huge step here and just say, like, this isn't right for me.
It's very adult.
And it's like, so listening to her album, like, Confident, I'm like, this is so different for me. This is a really different kind of breakup. It's even though it's just as hard, but like, but you're I don't know, it's like a rebirth. It feels more like a rebirth than an ending.
And it's harder in some ways to break up with, for just like on the basis of something not working, because you're like, I still love you, to make the decision when there's not something like, crazy, like there was cheating or whatever, something like that, where it's like, oh, it's easy to leave because you did something so bad.
Right. It's so much harder to leave when you have respect for the person.
You're like, or even when things are like good-ish and you're like, but this isn't enough for me and I deserve more.
Right.
Fucking sucks, man.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, can you throw a fridge at me, please? It would be easier.
Especially when you know that the other person has it in them. If they really tried or cared enough for you to step it up, they could have, and they just actively chose not to. That's a cigarette burn on the arm, baby.
Oh, yeah, it's a real kick in the cunt, honestly. Oh, good God.
Yes.
And there's so many men. Just so many.
Lot.
That won't fucking... Ugh. It's crazy. We were just talking about this, and I think this actually does... connect to Demi Lovato, because I was talking to my mom and I was like, Mom, I truly am like not, it's like the things that go through your mind after a breakup. You're like, am I just gonna be alone? Like, is there gonna be no one to like take care of me? Is there, you know what I mean? And my mom literally said to me, she goes, my mom broke up with her boyfriend and she's in her 60s. And she was like, I broke up with my boyfriend this year. She's like, because he didn't have enough of a life outside of me. And she goes, the people that are going to take care of you are going to be your girlfriends. She's like, you could get married. You could spend your whole life with one man. Your girlfriends are going to show up for you when you need a hip replacement. She's like, the men in your life, they're not going to. It's not the same. I mean, and that's actually a very negative belief to come at me from my mom.
I was like, that's sad.
But she was like, that's also my mom's, like, she has issues.
Because I think that's because I was like, that's like, well, the person I'm seeing now, I'm like, oh, this is like the first person who I really feel like would show up to a surgery.
And I think that guys will, but they won't show up the way that women will. I think that's what she was trying to say. I don't think she was trying to say like men won't, but that is what she said. So
like, they're gonna, like, your girlfriends are gonna come and redecorate your hospital room.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, they're gonna really be there in a way that men just don't know how, because they're societally, it's like beaten out of them, which sucks for them. Truly. Like, what do you do? I always think about that. Like, some guy was telling me about how like his father used to like skin animals in front of him. He like grew up on a farm, and his father would just like heartlessly, just callously skin these fucking animals. And like, this, as a little boy, he's just watching him like, is this what I'm supposed to grow up to be?
That's
like,
too much for a child.
And as a child, if you're a boy, I'm just like, that's insane that you have to learn how to shove that shit down.
Yeah.
That's fucked. There's so many, I mean, all of this shit is coming up now with gender, but it's so interesting to me. Well, and also, I mean, like,
in childhood, one of the early signs that you're going to be a serial killer is harming animals as a child.
Yeah.
So what?
So you're just like forced to watch it and feel your feelings, but shove them down, and it's got to be fucking confusing. I mean, that's why men are serial killers.
There you go.
But I think I was connecting it to Demi Lovato, because I feel like women are constantly this is just what we're wired to do, and I think there's plenty of men who also do this, but that we're always working on bettering ourselves. You know what I mean? And a lot of times
we're also always being like told that we can be better, though.
Right. We're also being constantly reminded that we can be better. But a lot of times it's in the context of, once you're better, you'll find a partner. And the longer I'm around, the more I'm like, oh no, you just continue to be better for you.
Yeah, because it helps you. It makes your life easier the better you are. I'm like, oh, wow, like everything is, I'm like functioning so much better. It's like, you know, getting a faster like processor on your computer or something. Yeah. Is that the right, did I use the right tech?
Yeah. No, yeah, I think so. I don't fucking know. I mean, what do I build?
Whatever, you guys, you get it.
Listen,
the
I'm not IBM.
Inside the,
I'm not IBM, but that is absolutely 100% factually correct. And you can ask my good friend, Bill Gates. But I think about Demi Lovato because I know that she's a drug addict, right?
She's an addict, yeah.
She just got sober. Is that right?
Well,
I remember we read a letter that she wrote to her fans.
She also has a drinking problem, but drinking and drugs.
Right.
So I don't know. I mean, I don't know if she's classifying them as both addictions, but I think she's just.
I classify.
I think she's
them
just
as
an
both.
addict. Yeah.
I don't think that you can be like one thing and not.
Usually,
the other.
like there's one thing that's like the thing that's like the hardest thing for you to get over, but there's usually multiple things. I would say
everybody's got their favorite. But like, it's addicts are addicts.
And when you get sober, it's not like, well, I'm not doing meth anymore, but I'm still drinking vodka. Like you usually just don't do any of the things.
Yeah. I mean, plenty of people do, but it's not the best idea.
That's not really what the setup is for. Right. Yeah. And she's 26, just because I looked up her age, born in 1992. That's crazy. So she was sober for 6 or 7 years too. And then she fell off the wagon recently, which we did talk about.
That's so hard.
And she's also someone who one of the main reasons that I initially got into Demi Lovato was actually because she seemed like a tough gal, wasn't super skinny. So I just kind of like liked that about her, that she was like still kind of like considered this hottie, but like wasn't skinny and was like a young girl.
Yeah.
And was always kind of like just like, this is who I am. I'm tough. I'm out here. I just liked I liked her vibe.
Yeah.
Because she was kind of thrown in there with a lot of those other people like the Selena Gomez's and stuff, but she's really quite different when you get to know her. And if you're interested in knowing her.
I certainly am. Wow, Corinne, what an organic way to segue.
Thank you.
Into the theme of this podcast.
We're good at doing that. No, well, because I was talking about my love for Demi Lovato to someone maybe like a year ago, and they said, have you seen the documentary? And I was like, what? No, I fucking love a music documentary. Obviously, the Justin one's great. The Katy Perry documentary is phenomenal. If you haven't seen it yet, it's so good. Even like, and that's the thing. Like, I didn't even like Justin Bieber was barely on my radar, and then I went to see Never Say Never. And I was like, I'm a Justin fan for life. So much so I went to see the director's cut again. But my boyfriend at the time, even he liked it.
Yeah.
And I really had to force him to go.
Yeah.
Because that's how good that documentary is. It sells Justin to you.
Yeah.
And the same thing with the Katy Perry thing. Like whenever you think about Katy Perry, and again, Katy Perry is an artist for me who, when she first came out, I was like, she's kind of like just like very mediocre across the board for me. Mm-hmm. Then I watched the documentary and I go, no, she's fucking amazing. Been a diehard Katy Perry fan ever since.
Yeah.
She's gone off the rocker a little bit recently, but I feel for her because I can't imagine being Katy Perry.
Yeah.
Just scrutinized. But yeah, so there's a documentary on YouTube.
Really?
Weird placement. Yeah. I go, where's this documentary? I was like, is it on Netflix? I can't believe I haven't seen it. Especially with the things I watch. It would have definitely popped up because they must think I'm a 14-year-old.
On YouTube?
Yeah. It's just on YouTube. Simply Complicated.
Why?
I don't know.
Why YouTube?
Maybe she's the Andrew Schultz of the pop culture. You know, she just puts things on YouTube. I'm not sure.
What the fuck?
I don't know. Yeah. It's very, very
I was going to say,
interesting.
is she a stand-up comic? Like, why? What?
Yeah.
What network was like, no, we can't do this? Is she shooting up in the documentary?
Well, because look, it's only on YouTube. Like she sold it to YouTube. Like it was a YouTube paid for. It's not like she uploaded it from her house.
She looks so much like Demi Moore. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah,
like young Demi Moore.
Yeah, and then like it's funny that they have the same name.
Yeah,
yeah. She just like she has a strong face, and also she has a cleft chin, which I fucking love cleft chins. I'm obsessed with them. Can't get enough of them. I love them.
Didn't know that about you.
Yeah, this is like a fun fact about me.
Why?
I love a cleft chin. I don't know. All my favorite.
What is it about them?
I find them really attractive and strong. And like she still looks feminine, but it makes you look strong, I feel like. Because like I think Rose McGowan has one too. Yeah. And those are like two of my favorite like aesthetic celebrities.
Right.
It's a strong look. Because like I want to know that you're strong. And to me, cleft chin says, I'm strong and I can get through this. And hey, Rose McGowan and Demi Lovato, two very strong women.
Why is it though that a cleft chin looks strong? That's what I'm.
Because I think maybe it's the way it shapes your chin.
I think it kind of looks like somebody threw a rock at you and you live to tell about it.
See, people really, I mean, a lot of people call them butt chins.
Not in a bad way.
I love
Not
them.
in a bad way. But
okay.
It's like I took it on the chin.
Okay.
And I'm still here.
Well, it's the same thing as like, scars. Like, don't you like a man with like a little scar?
I do.
Like that.
I do like a scar. I like a scar. Yeah.
Yeah.
Love a scar placement. A good scar placement.
Right. Yeah.
I
love scar. I love scar.
I don't want a liposuction scar.
Well, no, it has to be a scar from like something like lived.
Yeah, no, there's got to be a good story with the scar. Mm-hmm. I want you to have saved a pack of wild dogs with that scar.
Right. Right.
From a cheetah.
Wow, why were you there to begin with? Putting yourself into dangerous situations.
He's like, you know what? I was just wandering and I felt something. So I flew to Africa and there was a pack of wild dogs that needed me. A man who's intuitive but can fight off a cheetah. Okay, sorry. That was stupid. Go on.
No, and so number one, I definitely recommend watching this documentary. You learn a lot about Demi. She's definitely a party girl. She's bisexual.
Really? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Definitely would. And that, I don't know, that kind of like me, there was a phase when I was like, oh man, I kind of really want to hook up with Demi Lovato.
Yeah.
And again, like I took 3 Kinsey tests this week because everyone makes me feel like lame that I'm very heterosexual. Mm-hmm. And or like boring or like I'm like trying to mask something and I'm like that's like very unfair.
Yeah,
it's very unfair. I'm like if because like you want to be accepting of everyone. I'm like, if I'm cool with your fluidity, can't you be like cool with my rigidity.
Yeah.
Because like, I mean, like, I think everything about my personality is very rigid. So that so the fact that my sexuality would be in the same like rigid, like it makes sense.
Yeah.
Like it makes sense if you know me.
Right.
So I was like, whatever. I'm like, I'm just gonna take 3 Kinsey tests, and they were like, yo, you're real straight.
Yeah.
But they had like feedback that was kind of rude, like that, like I was boring them. Like, why did I even waste this test's time?
Why?
It was like, you know how like they give you like the little box on BuzzFeed or whatever. Like it was like rude. Like if you get 0, which is completely heterosexual, like they're like rude to you.
Oh wow, they're disappointed.
Yeah, like they're disappointed I didn't like try to be more interesting. And I was like, I'm very interesting in other aspects of my life. I'm sorry.
They're like, well, you're playing for the wrong team.
Yeah, almost.
Yeah.
But anyway, so like, yeah, I did. This is like one of my, moments that I guess people would be proud of me. You feel like a sexual energy from her, but it's also because she feels so masculine. So like, if you're heterosexual, you're like, okay, this is, if I was gonna hook up with someone of the same sex, like I could see it because I could, even though she's younger, like, and I could see her like,
yeah,
fucking
it's like
beating you down.
Well, yeah, it's like if I'm gonna hook up with a woman, she's got to have Clive Owen's chin.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, for me, if I'm going lesbian, I'm going Leah Delaria. Like that's how.
Who's that?
The very butch lesbian from Orange Is the New Black.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like that's how far I'm going.
You're going full blown.
Because I still need to feel like the feminine person.
Yeah.
But
okay.
Yeah,
I don't think you have to go that far to feel that feminine, Corinne.
I don't know. I feel very masculine on the inside. But anyway, I was looking up. I wanted to, because like another thing that you get into besides, so she's definitely partying a lot. She's definitely has a lot of issues that are kind of unresolved with her relationship with her father, and even her mom is interviewed and like just feels bad for Demi because her mom realizes like, yo, I've gotten over this guy. He's my husband. She can't get over this guy.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like always been this like noticeable void in her life, according to her mom in the documentary. And then, so obviously like using a lot and, and I think also constant scrutiny for her looks and her weight because she is not this real thin person, especially like in when you're young, like they expect all kids to be very thin. And then they deep dive into her relationship with Wilmer Valderrama, which is very fascinating. You didn't know this?
No.
See, it's very funny because Rosebud wanted to do this episode about Demi, and I was like, oh, I love Demi.
Oh my god, she literally goes, I don't really know more than average.
Right.
Or she was like, I don't really know that much about Demi, and I was like, yeah, but when you say you don't know that much about her, that means 75% more than the average population.
Yes.
Because Corinne has researched shit that she doesn't even care about. And then she forgets that she's researched it. And she's like, oh yeah, I've watched a documentary and also I know about all of her past relationships and how she feels about her dad. And I've literally listened to her mom. I'm like, okay, so point proven.
Oh man. Yeah, I did forget about that. Okay. Well, anyway, so basically, and this is covered in Simply Complicated, again, available on YouTube. They, and Wilmer is from that 70s show, Fez, if you guys are not familiar.
Really?
That you didn't know that's who that is? Yeah, he's Fez.
Wait, what are their heights?
That's the first question you had? I don't know. That's something I don't know.
I need to know how tall both of them are.
Okay, let me look this up.
I'm sorry, but
no,
that's like,
it's fine.
I need to know that.
Okay, so Wilmer.
Because he seems like he is like 5'2", 5'3".
Okay, I don't.
But he was standing next to Ashton Kutcher, who I think is like 6.
Okay, Ashton Kutcher, is very tall. Wilmer. Okay, Ashton Kutcher's 6'2". Wilmer Valderrama is 5'8", which is short for a dude, but not crazy.
Yeah,
he's not.
I think it's like average. No.
Really? Oh, really? I
think like 5'10" is
I
average.
thought 5'10" was like more average, yeah. And then Demi Lovato height, let's see. Also, while we're looking this up, I do want to also shout out, because we were talking about breakup albums, and one of my favorite breakup albums is James Blunt. Mm-hmm. The song that Beautiful is on, that whole album, oh my God, if you want to cry your eyes out, it's a great freaking album.
James Blunt.
You sings that song, You're Beautiful.
Oh yeah, I'm not gonna listen to that.
Okay, well you don't have to listen to that song.
That's like that's too, that's too like pat myself on the back type of thing.
Wait,
you know what I mean?
What?
That's too like like crying in the shower.
Oh, it's like
that's what it feels like.
It's like you're setting up a day to cry.
Yeah, I'm just like, that's a commitment to a mood that I don't want to be in.
Oh, okay, because the album, it's Back to Bedlam. God, there's some good songs on there. But anyway,
yeah, I need something that's like, fuck yeah, you could run 100 miles and not even fucking feel it.
Okay,
that's like what I need.
Got it. Okay, I understand. So, and okay, Demi Lovato is 5'3".
Okay,
so
5'3" and 5'8".
So 5'3" is a very, I mean, like I'm 5'3" and a half.
Yeah, I'm 5'3".
Okay. So there you go. So that's fine. Because, like, I mean, for me, I know people are obsessed with height.
I love that you said 5'3" and a half like a toddler.
Yeah, I am. Well, I don't know. It depends.
I'm 5'3" and 3/4.
Well, because that's the actual height. Sometimes I'll say 5'4", sometimes I'll say 5'3", depending on the angle I need to go at.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear you.
You know, convenience.
I hear you. Industry Corinne.
Thank you. Thank you. But yeah.
She knows how to book it.
I do. Yes. Okay. So now that we know their heights, I guess we could go back. So they met because they're both Latin back, you know.
Okay.
And so they were doing some kind of a public service announcement, and it was only Latino people on it. And that's why they initially met. That was in 2010. So what year are we? So it's not, so that was 9 years ago. Okay. So she's like, so she's 17 when they meet.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Cause I'm like reading this. I'm like, oh, I know she was really young. Cause this is another relationship where you're like, okay, was this okay? But I don't know exactly how old Wilmer Valderrama is. And he's like married now, but you can see, because they have interactions in this documentary, and like you can feel it. And she's someone who's like, that's the only public relationship we've really heard from with Demi.
Yeah.
I mean, there's very few celebrities who there's only one. There's usually multiple people, but like it almost seems like she's never really quite got over him.
Yeah.
Even though she's the one who left him because she just realized, I'm so young and I have a lot of growing to do.
Yeah.
And I know that was a very hard decision for her, but again, just someone who's like very emotionally intelligent, the fact that she was able to do that. Okay, so he's 39. So there's
39.
a 13-year age difference there.
Okay.
Which, I mean, the max I like to go to is 15-year age difference.
That's a lot.
Especially when you're 17.
Right.
And she's very like, and I remember her talking about this and like really defending him. She's like, nothing happened until we were 18. Like we literally just met, and I kind of like was like a little like gaga over him, and he was probably like, who is this young chick? You know, like, they didn't reconnect until after. Like, so nothing was happening that was weird. But again, you know, it's like you turn 18, it's like there's still, it's still strange. But
it's all fun and games until
But again, like she is someone who's wise beyond her years.
Yeah.
So he's 30 when they meet. She's 17.
Right. But still, like when you say wise beyond her years and about a 17-year-old, it's like, yeah, but no.
Well, yeah. I mean, because at a certain point, you're like, you're still 17.
You're still 17, and you're still fucking somebody who's in there.
Who was like 30 at the time when they met.
Fucking insane.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she like, so I guess ultimately it would have been like 1831. And that's a big,
How long did they date?
Like years. Like they were together for a while.
All right. Well, that's love.
I mean, they truly.
Or it's a hostage situation. It's one or the other.
It's so hard because, like, as someone who's dated guys, like, you know, at different periods in my life, including when I had just turned 18, who were almost a decade older than me, like, at the time it felt good and I felt in control and I didn't feel like I was doing anything weird and I don't have any regrets about them. But then when I look back, I go, okay, like, there was nothing really wrong with me in that, but I do kind of question, like, not that I'm not fascinating and beautiful, but like, why is like a really good looking, wealthy adult of that age
looking for somebody my age,
so young?
Yeah.
You know, like I was in college,
right?
Like sleeping on a bunk bed in a dorm room. I feel like that's just, no matter how great someone is, like, I don't want to live that lifestyle when I'm in my late 20s.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Bizarre to me. That is bizarre to me.
I don't know.
I mean, it's definitely a case of like Arrested Development, and then it's just another thing of like misogyny and like ageism.
Yeah.
You know?
People looking for like purity is another thing that came to mind. And I know I never.
Which is odd because like I don't know, in my 20s, if you're looking for purity, that was probably when my hygiene was at its worst.
I meant like sexual purity.
I'm talking about sexual purity as well, and sexual hygiene.
You've re-purified?
When I was in my fucking 20s, I was fucking like I was trying for 3 kids in a minivan.
You've changed your
Brita filter. It's a miracle that I don't have fucking several STDs.
Yeah.
It's a miracle.
Yeah.
Like I get checked for STDs regularly. And now that I'm in my 30s, I'm like, if a guy even brings up not wearing a condom, I'm like, put a fucking condom on. Like, there's no fucking way I'm touching your dick until there's a condom on it.
I'm the fucking worst. I go by like connection. Like I can tell with someone if I have like a deep connection.
Oh yeah, no. If you know you're gonna be dating them, it's different.
That I just put that dick right in.
Yeah. If you know, like immediately,
it's
like the first time I fucked my
ex,
we fucked raw. Like the first time.
Yeah. Same with the person I've seen now, but like that's not a good plan, is it? I don't know.
It's fine because you do know. It's
I just knew. I
knew this was gonna last for a while.
Yeah.
I was just like knew.
Yeah. And I was like also just like I just feel like this deep connection that I just would not feel with someone else, and like I kind of like didn't want the first time to like I was like I wanted to be skin to skin, baby.
Yeah.
I want to get this phone over here.
Okay, so
that's those are the main points. That's the main thing is the documentary covers. But then you know recently, so like about a year ago, after what was it,
being 6-7 years sober?
Yes, she fell off the wagon.
Not even a year ago, because it was summertime. Or it was like September when we went to Haley's apartment. And that was...
I still love that we did that. One of my favorite moments.
Honestly. And then we read her letter during that episode.
Oh, yes. So
I remember reading it outside of Haley's apartment. Mm-hmm. But yeah. So that was not even a year ago.
And so, okay, actually, so she was 6 years sober, and right now it's like actually perfect timing that it's so weird that you felt the urge to talk about Demi Lovato, because now literally this is like she would have been 7 years sober like today, like yesterday.
Really?
Yeah, because there's all this stuff in the press about how she made an Instagram post, and I have to go because she's like, I do follow her, but she just doesn't pop up on my feed, and that's sad because I do love her, and there's a lot of other people I would prefer not to see. And yeah, and so she posted something, it says, about her sobriety. Damn it, where is it?
I mean, I can't. I'm on the edge of my seat here.
Did she delete it?
No.
Yeah, because this is March 6th. Okay,
I'll
let me look
Google
at the article.
Somebody must have screenshotted it.
Yeah.
Demi Lovato just posted a powerful message about her relapse.
Right, because it's her last Instagram post is from like March 6th, but this is
from 2 days ago. Demi Lovato took to Instagram on Friday and posted a powerful message about her relapse. I needed to make these mistakes, she wrote on her Instagram stories.
Oh, stories. Okay, that's why I didn't see it.
I don't regret going out because I needed to make those mistakes. Today I would have had 7 years sober, the singer wrote. In July 2018, news broke that Lovato had suffered from an apparent overdose. The next month, she announced she was taking a step back from social media to heal and focus on her recovery. Lovato returned to Instagram November 2018 with an important message about voting. In January 2019, she celebrated 6 months of sobriety. I don't regret going out because I needed to make those mistakes, but I never forget that's exactly what they were, mistakes. Lovato continued on Instagram this afternoon in reference to what happened over the summer. Grateful that AANA never shuts the door on you no matter how many times you have to start your time over. I did lose 6 years. I'll always have that experience, but now
I didn't lose 6 years.
Oh, I didn't lose 6 years. Yeah. I'll always have that experience, but now I just get to add to that time with a new journey and time count. She ended her Instagram story with a message for people who are also struggling with addiction. If you've relapsed and are afraid to get help again, just know that it's possible to take that step towards recovery. If you're alive today, you can make it back. You're worth it. I love that. That's so sweet.
Yeah, because I mean, and you could tell, I mean, and it's a quality that I think there's, obviously entertainers deal with sobriety a lot because of the lifestyle, but also because it's kind of like that intensity, the same intensity that makes you an addict also is, I feel like a lot of times like the drive that makes you want to succeed, because you just become addicted to the success, or addicted to making music, or addicted to writing jokes. Like it's kind of in the same family.
I mean,
in a lot of ways.
I always think about drug addicts as kind of like old souls, right? Like I always think about when I did drugs and when I did like, yeah, I guess I did do drugs. When I did drugs and when I drank, it was like a kind of like a low level search for God, like trying to feel unity and feel like one with people and feel like I belonged. And I think art does that for you as well.
Yeah.
And when you get sober, you still have that. You still have that desire to feel good and to feel powerful and to feel like what you are meant to feel as a human being, which I think is like good and powerful. And not all the time, you know, that's the problem. It's like even today, and I've got 11 years now. So it's like even today when I'm in a bad mood, I'm like, this is never going to be over, you know? Like that's my initial thing is like, well, now I'm going to be sad forever. And it's like, no, you're not.
Yeah.
Like this is part of your life. You just feel sad for a little while. And like sometimes you feel sad longer than you fucking want to, but the longer you feel sad, the better you're gonna feel afterwards. It's like those like valleys.
Oh, when you get it through those long periods, you're like, holy shit.
You're like, holy fuck, I fucking made it. You know what I mean? And you were there and you were present for all of it. You know? So like when I look at like the shit that I've been through, I'm like, yeah, no, I fucking felt all of it. It was not like I have been raw dogging the world for 11 fucking years.
That's a
which is
lot.
why I have the personality of like a 68-year-old man.
Right.
But like, because I wake up
and
it's just like, this is how I feel. This is my fucking day now.
But your face doesn't show it. So that's nice.
Right. It's just, I'm like crystallized.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, because I'm obviously like I drink, but I don't drink whenever I'm depressed.
I feel like I always draw the conversation into addict shit. And
it's okay though, and I enable you in the conversation. I truly do. Our patterns stay the same, even though we are not using.
I know
we're still doing because I'm like, yo, tell me more. I love this.
Yeah, I know.
Every fucking time.
I know.
All right. Anyway, but that's like, I mean, that's pretty much that's the story on Demi. But if you want to watch that doc, it's good. I liked it a lot.
Yeah.
And the Katy Perry one, I'm just gonna sign it. And if anyone has any recommendations, I love like specifically like pop culture figures, because I love the art form of the documentary, because it feels very highbrow, and then taking something that we kind of like throw away, like our pop stars,
right,
and making like a real film about them.
Yeah,
I love that.
Me too.
So if you have any other ones that you think that we should watch, I'll watch like a Jonas Brothers thing. I'm trying to think of people that I don't really know anything about, like Jonas Brothers
are doing a tour again.
Yeah, I don't know anything about them.
Me either. Nothing.
I just know that they're kind of friends. They seem to be friends with other people I like Miley and stuff. But
yeah, and Bieber, right?
I think they are.
Or no, they like love Bieber. They were like Bieber fans.
Yeah, I think they kind of, these people all kind of know each other. But yeah.
And Haley was a Jonas Brothers fan.
Oh.
Justin made her say it on Instagram stories. He was like, what did you say? And she's like, I was a Jonas Brothers fan.
Oh my God. And then there was that other one. We didn't talk about this on the last episode, but there was that other Instagram story where they're on a private jet and he keeps like suffocating her with kisses, but like she just looks kind of annoyed, and like I would be annoyed too, because he just seemed like he needed he just needs so much attention.
When he's like, kiss me, and then he's like, kiss me more, I'd be like, ew. I'd be like, kiss yourself.
Yeah. And his face just does not look clean.
No, his face doesn't look clean at all, and she has such good skin. I'd be like, I'm not getting fucking near your face.
Yeah, because you really can't
put a fucking Biore strip on and kiss yourself.
Yeah.
Hi, Alfred. Alfred's assaulting me sexually.
He is. He's a horny dog.
He really is. What's making you less lonely this week, Corinne?
I'm trying to think about that. You know what? This is perfect. Not drinking.
Really?
Yeah, and I don't.
You're not drinking right now?
I don't. I'm never someone who like thought I had a problem, and I don't. I don't. Okay, and, guys, I'm fine. like, listen, I could certainly party when it's like I can get, and when I party, I fucking party hard. But and I just quoted Andrew WK, and I hate myself. But I.
Oh wow.
I didn't mean to. It just came out. But yeah, I mean, just I've been trying to get like some work done. Been running a lot, and so it's like I think the more the more like athleticism you put into your life, the less you want to kind of like tarnish it with things like bad food and alcohol and stuff. But yeah, I've just been really concentrating on like writing a bunch of new jokes, and so I can't even. And I've been performing so late that I just don't even have time. I don't have the energy to meet out with anyone. There's no reason to drink.
Right.
You know, a person I'm seeing doesn't drink, number one, and number two has been in LA. So I'm just gonna go home and hang out with Alfred. And I never drink alone. I just don't do it because to me, I'm like, oh, this is just wasted calories if I can't like cause trouble afterwards.
Yeah.
And it's just been very nice because I'm just so happy. And a lot of times, like if I drink, I never drink if I'm sad, but sometimes I drink if I'm like irritated or if I need to tolerate people.
Right. That's
a big reason that I'll do it. And in a social setting, and not like getting blitzed, just like having one to take the edge of humanity off.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I'm just like truly like happy, and I love hanging out like at home with my dog and like working on my jokes, and I feel very productive and healthy and like alive, and I'm like, oh, this is nice.
Yeah.
Like, and to the point where like I do love going on an occasional bender.
Yeah.
And I almost like felt like I was like time to go on one because I didn't go as hard on the Kesha cruise as I thought I would. Truthfully, I was like taking flyby pills and I just didn't get that drunk. Because I didn't want a hangover on a fucking boat. So they work great. Too great, really.
Yeah.
But yeah, and that's that. So yeah, just being fucking in the moment.
Yeah. For me, what's making me less lonely this week is writing. I've been writing a lot about the days that I was drinking and like the stories.
Ooh.
And like just even it's weird because I'm getting calls from like girlfriends where like I got a call from my friend Molly Austin who was on the podcast.
Yes, Molly,
and
love her.
I got a call from Molly today where she was like, yeah, I was in yoga this morning and I was thinking about the time that you told me that you went hunting for turkeys in a Mustang car with spears. And I was like, oh, I forgot that I told you that. But that is something that I did. My ex and I made spears in New Hampshire, and on Thanksgiving,
what a sentence,
we jumped in to his Mustang, his like lime green Mustang, and we drove around the hills of New Hampshire. And every time we saw a turkey, we'd pull over, run into the woods, and throw spears at these turkeys. We never killed one. It's not a great way to kill a turkey if you're trying to.
Because they were just run away before the spear hit, I'm guessing, because your spear aim isn't great.
The spears were huge, and like I don't. It's like we don't do that. Like
this is a real New Hampshire story because like no one stopped you.
No one stopped us. No. Yeah, it's New Hampshire,
right? Do they even
do whatever the fuck you want in New Hampshire? You're in the middle of the woods.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's just something that we did, and I thought about it, and I was like, anyway, Molly was like, yeah, you should write that down. You need to make a collection of short stories.
I fucking love Molly.
And I was like, yeah, you're right. I truly do. And then I was writing it down, and I'm like, and I just started like saying things out loud. Like I was like, stealing bodega cat. And like, she was like, what? And I was like, yeah, I stole a bodega cat. Like all this other shit that
this needs to be in your act.
Yeah.
That's pure lunacy.
I know.
It's so funny because I know a handful of very talented comedians who are so funny, and like then you sit down and you talk to them, and then the stuff that they're not talking about is even crazier than the stuff that they're talking about.
Yeah.
And you go, oh my God.
It's so funny because you look at your own life and you're like, is there really anything there? You know? And then I think about it and I'm like, yeah, no, I bought tickets to go heli skiing, which is when you jump out of a helicopter and ski down a mountain with no experience in skiing. And then I got too drunk and I slept through the tickets, but I would have snapped my spine in half.
Yeah, that alcohol was the blessing. That alcoholic moment.
That was, yeah. I mean, I would have fully been paralyzed.
Yeah.
Because I was just like, yeah, I'll just try this my fucking second time skiing. I think I went skiing once.
Think how famous of a comic you'd be, though.
I'm so good at this that I could fucking jump out of a helicopter and do it. And I fully just committed to that.
Yeah.
Like, I was insane.
I like that you're a confident drunk, though.
Oh, way too confident.
You know, that's nice.
Yeah. So I'm writing, and that's helping me a lot.
It's also so cathartic when you're going through kind of like a depression or like a life change or breakup. I feel like it just get it the fuck out.
Get it out. Yeah. Oh my God.
Detox.
It's really fun. So anyway,
it is. I love it.
That's what I'm doing.
Guys, thank you so much for joining us once again. There's an ambulance.
Yep. They're coming for us. One of these days, they're going to come to the apartment.
Uh-oh. Yes, so if you guys are interested, if you have any tips for us, you can hashtag on Instagram or Twitter. It's hashtag TLLG tips. And I'm at Philanthropy Gal on all social media.
And I'm at Rosebud Baker. And you can follow our producer, Mike Coscarelli, at Mike Coscarelli. We love you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.